Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dom and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on this channel. In today's video, we're going to be testing the effects that damage inflicts on your vehicle's speed and performance in GTA Online, and if there is a difference in repair costs for low and high-end vehicles. Now, obviously, it is frustrating if you're involved in a collision when driving around in your car, especially if you've customized the appearance for your car to look just how you want it, and then the crash absolutely ruins the look of the car. But is there a difference in performance between cars that have taken damage, or is it just all cosmetics in GTA Online? In this video, we're going to be finding that out. So then let's get straight into things by comparing the amount it costs to repair damaged cars. First of all, we're going to be seeing how much it is to repair a lightly damaged vehicle. So to do this, I just bumped the front bumper on a wall a couple of times, just to lightly damage the vehicle. As you can see, this is a low-end car, the Fugitive. So I'll be comparing this with a higher-end car to see if there is any difference between the prices of low-end and high-end vehicles later on in the video. So I tested the light damage a few times, and with some marks on the front bumper and the hood being open, it costs from about $230 to $260. Not too much in relation to how something like this would have costed if this was real life. Then moving on to the heavy damage, and when I say heavy, I mean it. I went to town on this vehicle, smashing the doors and hood off, ramming into walls and just causing absolute chaos to this car. Once my little rampage had gone on long enough, I went back to the custom shop and to my surprise, the cost of repairing the extremely heavily damaged vehicle was only $630. For only an extra $370, you can repair a pretty much totaled car, compared to the $260 it costs to fix a front bumper of a car, which in my opinion is quite unrealistic. But we can't really complain, as it is cheap in the long-term scale of things, compared with the other extortionate prices currently in-game. So to summarize, for the cheaper car, it costs $260 maximum with light damage, and up to $630 for a heavily damaged version of the same vehicle, the Fugitive. But what about the higher end supercars? Will those cars cost more to repair because they're more expensive vehicles, or because it's just a game, will they cost the same amount depending on just the damage for whatever car you're repairing? In real life, they obviously would cost a lot more to repair. Imagine the compare cost on a car like a Ferrari compared to that of a, let's say, Nissan Micra. The repair costs will be completely different in real life. But then again, this is GTA 5, so anything is possible. So to find this out, I did as close to the same tests I could as I did with the Fugitive, but this time I used the Tempesta. First of all, just like last time, I lightly damaged the front bumper by driving into a wall front facing slowly, so there were scratches and the hood had been popped out. Now surprisingly, the cost of this light damage, even though the car is well over double the price of the Fugitive, was actually the same price to repair, only $230. After finding this out, I was pretty surprised and moved swiftly on to finding out how much the car would cost to repair if it was heavily damaged. So again, I did exactly what I did last time. I absolutely smashed the car up, took the hood and doors off, and by the time I was finished, this car was unrecognizable. Now this time the price was different, but it was only an increase of $40 compared to the Fugitive, meaning to repair a car that is worth over $1 million in game, it only costs $670 to repair it when it's pretty much totaled. Now if a car that cost this much in real life was damaged this badly, you may as well just get a new one, as the repair costs would be extortionate. But with this only being $670 to repair in game, it's very unrealistic. So is there much difference between the repair costs between different vehicles in game? Not really, and although repairing vehicles in the game is a feature, it's not really one that is used that much anymore, as you have to be close to a custom shop and you can get your car repaired for free just by getting a certain distance away from it and requesting it back through the interactive menu, meaning the car will be delivered to you completely repaired anywhere. Or you can just go back to your garage and just drive it in there, and then drive back out again, and the car will be fully repaired. But this was quite interesting to see in the game. I'm quite surprised that Rockstar didn't really put much detail into different repair costs between separate vehicles in the game. Now, moving on, myself and Chaotic tested out whether or not having damage on a vehicle, be it light or heavy just like the last little tests, would affect the overall performance of the vehicle. But mostly it's the acceleration and speed that we're going to be testing. To do this, we did something very similar to what we previously did earlier on in the video, by first of all testing a lightly damaged vehicle versus a heavily damaged vehicle. And to test this, we had the exact same vehicle that didn't have a scratch on it. And we had the two compete in a drag race at the airport. So for this, again we used the Fugitive, just a basic 4-door vehicle that is easy to use for the purpose of this video. So starting off, we first lightly damaged the red car, and it'll be me driving this one so you guys can see the effects the damage had to the performance firsthand. So to damage the car, we just drove it lightly into a wall, which gave it a few dents and smashed out the front window, an action which decided the fate of the upcoming race. So as you can see, there is only minimal damage to the vehicle, but it surprisingly was quicker off the mark than the white car. This may be due to the fact that because the window was smashed out, the car then lost weight, meaning it had better acceleration than the white car. But during the race, the white car did eventually catch up and take the lead. So having light damage actually increases the rate at which the vehicle starts off, but it does hinder the overall speed of the vehicle over a period of time. This is all depending on what kind of light damage and whether or not it affects the weight of the vehicle, but in this test, that is what the recordings show. And finally, for the last test of this video, we have the heavily damaged version of the Fugitive against the version without a scratch on it. So just like last time, I pushed this car to its absolute limits when it comes to taking damage. This thing was on the verge of exploding, but with all the tyres still intact, otherwise there would be no question as to who would win this race. So this time, starting off, the vehicles are on a level pegging, but the white intact version does start to pull away pretty quickly during the race. Now, although the red car is a lot lighter as it's missing all of its doors and hood, the engine performance has also clearly been affected, and it loses a lot of speed with this damage. Not to mention the steering is absolutely rinsed, with the car pulling to the right for the entire race. So me having to correct the direction of the car didn't help in the race either. But as it is very clear in the footage, the Fugitive that is heavily damaged is the loser in this drag race, merely because of the performance it had lost. So there we have it then guys, that's it for this video. The cost to repair any car in game is pretty much the same, whatever vehicle it is. But it does depend on the amount of damage, so whether it is one of the most expensive cars in the game or one of the cheapest, if they're both damaged the exact same, the repair costs will be about the same. And having a damaged vehicle does also affect the speed, handling and performance of the vehicle when driving it around compared to the one that hasn't got a scratch on it. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments, and if you would like to see more experiments like this one in the near future. If you could drop a like on this video, it would be greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to Chaotic, then please do, as we upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 videos. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.